So we throw this around a lot, the word premium, when it
Yeah.
comes to video. What does it mean? And I specifically, like, attach a value to that, attach a CPM value, attach a percentage of total volume of inventory avails, like, give me some tangibles around that.
Yeah, I think long term, what we want premium to mean is it's the outcome. If it's premium, we sell more products. But right now, we use kind of quality. We use recognizability as a proxy for premium. So sites that your mom would know, to us, are considered more premium. These sites, they can sell
My
digital
mom watches
video.
cat videos, just to give you some context
Maybe
just
not,
context.
maybe not your family. Premium digital video inventory, it can be from $10 to $100 CPMs. The antes are high because there's a real scarcity of premium digital video inventory. A lot of the market is in the mid-tail, so this would be made for the web content, YouTube, things like that, and the market's there because that's the only content that's actually available. And then there's another tier, which is kind of simulated video. It's not actually TV-like in that you're buying a video that's auto-playing in a banner, or it's in a small syndicated player. And that's rampant right now as well. So video is definitely a tale of two cities.
So how premium is premium inventory if it's derivative television distributed in a IP platform, if it's not viewed? I mean, where's viewability? That's the accountability part of this, and part of it, right?
Yeah.
Where's that come into it?
The idea of viewability is simple. We pay really high CPMs for video, and we deserve to know if people are watching our video ads or not. Our approach to viewability was a little bit different. In display, it just took forever, and it still really doesn't work. So what we did is we said viewability needs to be table stakes. So we created a piece of code, and we open sourced it. And this code solves the technical issues around viewability. So is the video player actually in view, and what % of it is when people have the browser open? And we open sourced it so that we can kind of get beyond the conversation. And the idea is anybody can build this into their ad servers. And I think what's going to happen is by the end of the year, you'll start seeing kind of some type of standard around video viewability, regardless of who you buy from. Now, what percentage is viewable? We think it's going to be pretty shocking once people start running these reports. And maybe 50% of video right now is viewable. And what's happening...
So you're going to piss a lot of publishers off, basically.
No, we actually make the good publishers really happy because right now CPMs for programmatic video, they're pretty stable. But what happens when you roll out viewability is you kind of expose the bad behavior and the good behavior. And I think CPMs will go up for the best sites that have big players that feel TV-like, where you have to click play. But what's happening in practice is there's a lot of publishers that they're seeing the high CPMs that they can get from digital video. But it turns out digital video is it's hard to produce content. It's expensive. So they simulate content. Whether kind of everyone's been to a website and a video has just started auto playing in a banner, or there's a small syndicated player. There's someone else's content that just starts to autoplay. Publishers have done that because it gets them into the video game, and that's absolutely rampant right now. It's often kind of bundled into buys. So what I think is going to happen is when the viewability reporting rolls out, we kind of expose some of that, and we start paying more for what I think of as premium inventory, where the viewability percentage will be much higher.
So, Tracy, Kurt, let's make Brett a token. And if he represents the programmatic ecosystem holistically, right? Is that going to help? Is that going to help you sleep better at night if you're asking for 100% of your digital dollars?
Like, he just literally gave me another nightmare. Like, this is what we fear is happening, and we know is happening. We just don't know to what extent.
Do you want to know? Well, like, what does that do for your business? Do you want to know if all of a sudden you come back with a stat that 15% of the video ads that have been served are actually viewable? How are your clients going to respond to the continuation of increasing year-over-year budgets in programmatic?
I mean, the more that we can the challenge is when you go in with a programmatic recommendation to a particular brand, they can't touch and feel their ads. right? They love, I mean, I love print because I can see a particular advertisement. I know why it feels good. I know why running a spot during a primetime television show feels good because you can see it. Programmatic is challenging because we go in and we put great budgets down against it. I can't show you where your ads ran. But what I can give you is the assurance that they did run, and that people had the opportunity to see them. And I think right now the challenge is when we go in with those recommendations. In the display side, we're getting closer to it. But in the video side, there is still the challenges. And so I think budgets will be held back until, honestly, that is opened up.
And I'm building on that. I mean, I'm kind of, because we're running at the trading desk, the platform in the middle, the idea being that these type of viewability things are critical for us. Like we absolutely are kind of aligned fully on where Brett's going, and this is the type of stuff that we actually push for. I mean, we talk about a process we have called Vivid Verify. We kind of go out into the exchanges, all the other sources, and really bring a level of scrutiny and vetting to this process so that teams like Tracy's and others that are actually going through the AOD team are going to have confidence that this stuff is actually coming up to those standards. Because as buyers, if you don't have a platform or a team centralized in the middle, navigating all this chaos and what we call like the shenanigans, because really it's the mid-tail, the long tail that's the shenanigans are crazy, and all these little alpha videos or alpha bird, what shouldn't slam people, but the content that's getting embedded out there, it's a full player. I mean, these are real issues, and so for us, it's around vetting that out and getting it down to what's really there. The challenge you end up finding is that there's still buying behavior focused on lower and lower CPMs. Well, those lower and lower CPMs have just been flooded with this type of stuff. One peeled back that onion. And so as being that centralized team in the middle that's focused on navigating that stuff and putting it out there, here is, guys, the benchmark for the industry on this type of stuff. And that's a big conversation that has to continue.
So if Brett's your guy from the industry, though, I want to go back to what the question was, right? If Brett's your guy, if he's the token, okay, what are the two things that he could most importantly address to make you sleep better at night?
Transparency.
Okay. Kurt, what's your...
Well, at the end of the day, for us, transparency, and the other side then eventually is measurement. And measurement's going to be a bigger piece for a broader piece. But from a buying perspective, when we go out into our platforms, if we can't fully see every impression to every depth of detail that we have, the relationship is not going to go much further. And so it's a critical piece for us to see that. And so there's tools like Brett's that help us enable that. The other side of that conversation, because it's not exclusive to his domain, is the aggregator sources, the publishers, the folks that are actually putting this stuff in. So we need the tool to help us do that, but we also need the rights and the capabilities to do it from the broader ecosystem.
But I think transparency also into what's not transparent. And I think we don't get that. I think we get a lot of, well, I have a viewability solution for video and it's going to fix everything and don't worry. But we know that the viewability solution in display stops at a certain point. And so I think transparency into what the solution can do and can't do, I think, again, the word premium becomes this blanket, this word, everything's viewability. It's just, they're going to become these words that people just throw around that don't end up actually meaning what they mean.
Brett, learning from the mistakes. So, I believe in giving people the opportunity to fail, right? So, and learning from the mistakes or the perhaps missteps in display, for example. I mean, how does that change course for you, based on what you're hearing from them?
The difference in digital video right now is when you run viewability across your campaign, what you end up seeing is 50% of the campaign's not measurable. You can't tell if it's viewable or not. But it's not measurable because the video is running in an iframe. I can't find a single publisher that's running any legit video in an iframe. So to me, that means it's not viewable. Show me a publisher. Iframe's just kind of someone else's code in your site so that it doesn't interrupt your own code. So I think the video viewability reporting is going to be really good. And I think it's going to solve problems. What we're going to do is we're going to be able to go back to our clients and say, you know what, when you spend a little bit more, actually your effective rates are going down. If you look at how long people are watching, your cost per second of viewership goes down if you spend just a little bit more to get the good stuff. We just need kind of standardized reporting. And it can't be TubeMogul reporting. It needs to be kind of industry-wide reporting, which is why we open sourced it with our competitors. If you go to openvv.org, you can grab this code. And I think because of that, it's going to spread like wildfire.
And this is what I think is really interesting from the publisher side of the business right now. And I look at my client portfolio, and the conversations I'm having with my clients who are typically publishers are, is your competitive advantage in content or is it in technology?